Kia ora everybody, welcome to Outdoors with Sum. I'm Summer and today I'm going to be bringing you 4 ways that I use nature to help me feel better. Because who doesn't need a little bit of extra help to feel better these days? In this economy, in this global crisis, in this freaking pandemic that we're in right now, I think everybody needs a little bit of help to feel better. And we can lean on good old nature to help us do that. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I make nature content about all kinds of different things, so if that's what you're into, please hit that subscribe button and support me. So this is coming from someone, me, who has had their battles with anxiety and depression before and generally feeling stuck internally. And these are some of the ways that I've been able to help myself out of those situations and feel a little bit better about life again. Nature is proven to have a whole bunch of really beneficial effects on our mental health. It can lower your blood pressure, reduce stress, improve your mood, boost your self-esteem. But I wanted to talk about more than just this today. I wanted to talk about how I really use nature mindfully to feel better. So I'm hoping that this video will be helpful for anybody that wants to feel better day to day about life, feel more excited, or if you're going through something that's a bit more long-term and intense, I'm hoping that it will help you with that as well. It's also for my fellow eco-warriors who maybe feel a little bit down about the situation the world is in right now in terms of climate change, biodiversity loss, all of that kind of thing can be really, really overwhelming. So I'm hoping that it'll give you some other ways of connecting with nature, because even if you work in this field every day, sometimes you can forget how magical nature can actually be. And ultimately I do have an agenda to make you go outdoors more, so there's also that. A little disclaimer, I'm not professionally trained as a mental health expert. These are just my opinions and experiences that I'll be sharing today, and also some studies that I've looked at that talk about how nature affects our mental well-being. Okay, tips. Tip number 1, go somewhere in nature that you've never been before. Going to a nature spot that I've never been to before is like my favourite thing to do. It's just so awesome going somewhere you've never been before, seeing how life is there, seeing what plants are there, what animals are there, what kind of things are going on in that environment is just really fun. It can also help to invoke feelings of awe. You can definitely feel awe going somewhere that you have been before and that you really love, but I think that going somewhere new really invokes that feeling of wow, which is what awe basically is. Awe is a complex emotion. Awe to me feels like a huge sense of perspective, makes me feel a little bit small, a little bit existential, a little bit like an ant, in a good way. It's also just pure appreciation of the thing that you're seeing, I think. And it's a really, really powerful emotion. Research into awe has been going on for about 20 years or so, and it's been shown to decrease symptoms of depression, increase your perception about the quality of your life, and increase your drive to improve your life as well. Why is it good to feel small? For me, I like to feel small because it reminds me that I'm actually part of something that's much, much bigger, and it helps me to let go of any problems that I'm having, because it just really puts them into perspective. You know, is it worth worrying about this thing when there's so much life that's going on around us and we're literally floating on a rock in the middle of space? It definitely makes things seem like less of a problem than they actually are. Also, seeing an awe-inspiring natural area makes me really excited for life, because it makes me think about how many different places there are out there that I haven't seen before. That's what makes life worthwhile for me. Tip number 2 is go and find a species that I haven't seen before and learn about it. So if going to new natural spaces is my favourite thing to do, then my second favourite thing to do, and all of my subscribers will definitely know this, is to find out about new species of animals, plants, fungi, any living thing. I love learning new things about. It's pretty well known that humans are innately very curious. It serves our species well, and it has served our species well in the past in terms of evolution, because the more interested we are in our environment and problem solving, figuring out better ways of doing things, the more developed we got as a species towards the civilization that we're in now. If you have your own children or remember what it was like to be a child and just be fascinated by everything that's going on around you, particularly animals and nature, then you'll know that this is something that we all have inside us and always have had. So when we're mentally on top of things, life just feels really exciting because we see all of these opportunities for new discoveries all the time. It gives us energy and vitality. So it follows that when you find a really cool animal or a crazy plant or a cute little fungi that you've never seen before, that you should get excited about it. Feel curious about it. What's its role in the environment? What's it doing here? How did it evolve? And you'll feel some satisfaction from finding out about that new thing. Finding new species also really helps me to appreciate the huge diversity of life that's going on around us. Scientists estimate that there's 8.7 million different eukaryotic species here on Earth. What's more is that 80% of these species remain undiscovered, and 99% of the species that ever lived here on planet Earth are now extinct. What? Mother Nature is such a creative, crafty queen. Even I only know a tiny little sliver of the amount of information that's out there about these different things that we share Earth with. So if that speaks to you as well, then really get into it, because I do think it helps to make life feel really worthwhile and really exciting. Tip number 3, notice the different rhythms of life forms around you. Plants, animals and fungi and the rest are always going through different cycles, daily, seasonally, monthly, and I think that it really helps us to connect to the natural world when we get in touch with these cycles too, and we notice what's going on outside in nature. I think that we're quite removed from these cycles nowadays in our modern world. We get to create our own cycles of light, we can grow food at any time of the year, so it can be quite hard to feel in touch with these cycles sometimes. So when I'm on a walk outside, I try to practice really noticing what's going on with the cycles in nature that day or seasonally, or even with the moon. Sometimes I'll just look up at the moon and think about what cycle it's in, and that really reminds me that I'm sitting on a planet right now and puts things into perspective. So I'll look at the different plants that are around. Are they flowering at the moment? Are they producing berries? What are the birds doing? Are they chasing partners? Are they singing? Or are they hauled up in a tree somewhere? Another really good thing about it is it makes me notice the movement of time a lot more. And I know it can be really stressful feeling like time is running out, like everything's moving really fast. When you're at work all day and maybe you've arrived before the sun has come up and you're going down when the sun's already down, and it just feels like you've spent your whole day indoors not experiencing things. So taking a walk in nature and noticing what's going on out there can really help me to center myself in time, in the present moment, and that makes me feel like my life is going a little bit more slowly. And this links back in with that feeling of awe. In one study, people that felt awe felt less impatient and agreed more strongly with statements suggesting that time is plentiful than people induced to feel happiness. The researchers said awe-eliciting experiences might offer one effective way of alleviating the feeling of time starvation that plagues so many people in modern life. So go get yourself some feelings of awe. Tip number 4, give back to nature. Nature gives us everything, literally everything. And it feels nice to give back sometimes. I'm going to talk a little bit here about altruistic behaviour. Altruistic behaviour is an unselfish regard for the well-being of others. And it's scientifically proven to make us feel better when we exhibit altruistic behaviour. It's associated with reduced aggression, better mental and physical health, improved well-being, and it even helps you to live longer. Basically, it's good for us to give back. Why is that? Well, there's 3 main reasons. The first being an evolutionary advantage. Groups that helped each other did better in terms of survival than those that didn't. The second is physiologically. Altruistic behaviours are more powerful than fear and anxiety and help to lower the stress response. So they displace those feelings and replace them with good feelings when we help others. And thirdly, psychologically, the positive emotions like kindness and compassion that are associated with altruism help to replace those negative ones. I couldn't find any studies on whether helping nature helps us to express those altruistic feelings and get the benefits from altruism. But for me, helping nature feels like helping myself and feels like helping my others, my species, because nature essentially is an extension of me. Some of the activities that I do is to put food out for the birds in my neighbourhood when they're maybe finding it hard to find food in the winter, and volunteering at my local sanctuary, and also making content that helps to educate people on nature and hopefully gets them to care about it as well. So maybe have a think about if there's any activities like this that you could do to help restore nature and get those lovely altruistic feelings going to help your brain feel a little bit better. Cool! Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you got something out of it. It's really, really fulfilling for me to be able to share these things with you, because I know what a struggle it can be to feel better sometimes, and nature can just be so healing for these problems that we're facing in our modern world. If you would like to hear more about this kind of thing, please let me know down in the comments, and if it was helpful for you, I'd love to know that too. And also maybe you can help others as well by sharing down in the comments how you connect with nature and how that makes you feel. And if you'd like to see more from me, please consider supporting my channel by subscribing or liking the video or sharing it with some of your friends or your loved ones. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Hey, well done on reaching the end screen. Can I interest you in some more? We got giant snails, we got seals. What can I get you? Yes, excellent choice.